We're going to be learning about the sound Aqeedah, the importance of it in Islam. It's really important, as this is the basis of our belief in Islam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. So, this definition of sound Aqeedah is having the firm belief in Allah, and one should believe about Him in terms of His divinity, His lordship, and His names and attributes. It also implies belief in His angels, His books, His messengers, the last day, and His decree, both good and bad, as well as everything that is mentioned in the sound religious texts of principles of religion, matters of the unseen, and whatever we are told about the unseen. So it's essential to believe in your heart in the definitive manner with no doubt or uncertainty, as Allah says, the believers are only the ones who have believed in Allah and His Messenger, and then doubt not. And that's in Surah Al-Hujurat, verse 15. That is that they never doubt their faith. So the evidence for this is in the verse where Allah Azza wa Jal says, righteousness is not that you turn your face towards the east or the west, but true righteousness is in one who believes in Allah, the last day, the angels, the book, and the prophets. And this is in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 177. The verse in where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 285, the messenger has believed in what was revealed to him from his Lord, and so have the believers. All of them have believed in Allah and His angels and His books and messengers. Also, the hadith of Umar ibn Khattab, according to which Jibreel asked the Prophet ﷺ about faith, Iman, and he said to him, it is to believe in Allah, His angels, His books, His messengers, and the last day, and to believe in the divine decree, both good and bad. And this is narrated in Sahih Muslim, and this is the 6 articles of faith. So I'm going to be talking about the importance of having a sound Aqeedah. So it is a condition of righteous deeds to be accepted by Allah. It is the means, after the mercy of Allah Azza wa Jal, of our attaining salvation in the hereafter and admission to paradise, as He says. So in Surah At-Tawbah, verse 72, so whoever would hope for the meeting with his Lord, let him do righteous work and not associate in the worship of his Lord anyone. So this is Surah Al-Kahf, verse 110, but the next verse is from Surah Al-Tawbah, verse 72, where Allah has promised the believing men and believing women gardens beneath which rivers flow, wherein they abide eternally, and pleasant dwellings in gardens of perpetual residence. But approval from Allah is greater, it is that which is the great attainment. So in contrast to that, deeds will not be accepted by Allah if the door has corrupt Aqeedah, and therefore you'll be at loss in the hereafter, as Allah says. And whoever in Surah Al-Ma'idah, verse 5, whoever denies the faith, his work has become worthless, and he in the hereafter will be among the losers. In Surah Az-Zumar, verse 65, and it was already revealed to you and to those before you that if you should associate anything with Allah, your work will surely become worthless, and you'll surely be among the losers. So what it means by his work will become worthless in the first verse, and your work would surely become worthless. In the second verse, it is that the deeds are rendered null and void, and the reward from them is lost. Therefore they will carry no weight before Allah Azza wa Jal, and the door will become a loser and will not gain anything in the hereafter. So number 2 is the core of the message of all the messengers they wanted to bring them. There was no messenger whom Allah sent to His people, but this sound belief was the first thing which He called them. The messengers paid a great deal of attention to that, as Allah says in Surah Al-Nahl, verse 36, and we certainly sent every nation a messenger saying, worship Allah and avoid Taghut. So the benefits of Taghut refers to anything and anyone that is worshipped besides Allah and approves of that. So Allah says in Surah Al-Anbiya, verse 25, and we sent not before you any messenger except that we revealed to him that there is no deity except me, so worship me. So number 3 is that Aqeedah is essential to the human being. It is more essential to him than air and water, for without it, he cannot know the correct and sound answers to the great questions posed by humanity. Where did I come from? Why was I created? Where will I go after death? What is the outcome of not having an answer to these questions? Is what we see today of misery, suffering, widespread mental illness, and rise in deaths, even in wealthy countries who claim to be advanced and civilized, as is happening in countries like Sweden, Denmark. Only sound Aqeedah answers these important questions and other questions that people wonder about and sincerely try to find answers to, so their heart can be filled with certainty, tranquility, ease, assurance, and faith. I'll leave you here, as I will continue with the rest of the reasons, the importance of having a sound Aqeedah in the next episode. Hopefully you benefit from this, and I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you are able to learn from these verses, to memorize these verses, and to be able to implement them and to share this with others as well, so they can benefit and you get rewarded as well. I'll leave you here. Fi amanillah wa sallallahu wa baraka ala nabina Muhammad. Astaghfirullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.